Welcome back to the Guest List podcast, and welcome to our second annual holiday special. My name is Sarah.
And I'm Jared. Today is a very special day as we celebrate the holidays and reflect on 2024 with our guest, Savanna Leigh. So let's get started.
All right, to get into the holiday spirit, we figured that we would kick this off by talking about some of our favorite holiday songs. Jared, do you have one growing up that you've always listened to? Like, what's the first song that you put on when you think about the holidays?
Ooh, well, not growing up, but I always listen to Santa Tell Me by Ariana Grande. So that's like
Kind of when you were growing up, kind of.
kind of ish, I guess, more like my preteen years. But I love that song, and it's become like a Christmas classic in my mind, even though obviously
Really?
it's not a classic.
No,
But
I get that. I get that. It's like it's in there. I feel like holiday classic songs are in two categories. I don't know why.
yeah, yeah.
We're gonna ignore that I did that, but
That and Santa Baby always gets me going. I love the little like sexy vibe it has going, and it's like, as you know, when I was a kid, it was just like, oh, it's a cute background song. But as I grew up, I was like,
oh,
I'm like, yeah. And Kim Kardashian
oh
putting
boy.
out a cover of it was like, hello. So, but I think she ate it up, honestly. And I think that she has like a perfect voice for a cover of that song, which was really crazy to me. But so glad
Yeah.
she did that this year. But
Yeah. Okay. We're talking like classics. My favorite is Last Christmas. Literally, I don't care if it's the original, a cover, like that is my favorite holiday song. And then like you said, the Ariana songs. And then most recently, I have had Sabrina's Fruitcake EP on.
yes, I was just thinking about that. I was thinking about her nonsense Christmas. Like,
Yep. The Netflix special, did you watch it?
I did not watch the Netflix special, but
Oh
I
gosh, you
listen to
have to.
Fruitcake EP
You
all the
have
time.
to. It's so good.
And I think what's it called? You saying that reminded me of Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. I
Yes.
I
Oh,
will always bop to Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. Always.
so good. Like there's some, and then there's like okay, let me think, because that was like stuff that I just like always listened to. I think growing up, um, oh, the it's like the old timers. I'm trying to think. Oh, White Christmas, and then Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
Yes. Oh my
Those
gosh.
two, I always think about those. Like, oh my God, like there are just so many.
Yeah. What makes you love like Christmas songs though? Do you think it's the way that it makes you feel? Do you think
That's
it
definitely
just
a big part of it. If there's one thing about me, I love a Christmas song.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of it, especially with those songs that I just mentioned, like the old timers and all that, like it's
yeah.
definitely nostalgia. I always think about my dad put the Christmas CDs on our like record, not a record player, but we had in my dining room in my childhood home, we had this CD player that would like shuffle the CDs so it would like have like five discs in it,
Yes.
and it would
Yeah.
like switch what CD was playing
Yeah. And in
at
my
any time.
room.
And so we would put like, I don't know, like five or four or five different discs in that player, and um we would put that on as we decorated my childhood home, and I just always loved it. It felt very classically Christmas in my
Yeah.
house. And I always loved decorating, and the music is a big part of that for me, and it just holds a lot of memories.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, the the holiday songs, they always just remind me of, we always went to my grandma's on Christmas Eve, and we always had the Christmas music playing in the background. So whenever I hear Christmas music playing in the background, it just takes me to that like cozy feeling, and just feeling like warm, fuzzy, safe, all the good feelings that you want to feel on
That
Christmas. And So, as you grow older and you start getting that seasonal sadness comes around and you're like,
Oh
ooh, I don't know. It's always good to be able to like put on that Christmas song and you're like, I'm feeling it. I'm not like now I like it. Now so
now, yeah. But it's quite interesting. I've worked a ton of retail this holiday season. So I have been hearing a lot of the same songs.
I bet.
And one song that I've actually heard on constant rotation at both my jobs, which I was a little surprised at, is Like It's Christmas by the Jonas Brothers.
That's actually pretty funny because I don't think I've ever heard that song before.
Really? It's a couple of years old now. Um, it was in the Netflix series Dash and Lily that I believe it was Nick that was the brother that helped produce that. Um, but that was yeah, that's a couple years old. They have another one that they released that same year, which I think was 2019. But I don't think I've ever heard Like It's Christmas more in my life. So
Yeah.
there are a few songs this year that I will admit I had to skip on my personal playlists just because I've heard them so much while I was working. I'm trying
Yeah.
to think a few more of those. You know, as much as I have to give respect to the Queen of Christmas,
Right.
on my personal playlists, I have skipped All I Want for Christmas Is You this season.
I I do have to say one thing. I also agree that sometimes I feel like, oh my gosh, this song again. Um, the marketing for that every year is so good. The way she's yeah, exactly. She's like, it's
I'm
time.
not even
And I'm
gonna
like,
attempt it.
I I could never ever. But
Oh
yeah,
my
I think that it's just really, really insane to watch every single year. And then everybody's like, oh my gosh, she's defrosting. Like, and it's the same thing every year and it never fails and it never gets old. And it's just like,
God. Like that
oh,
that is a classic. That
that's a classic. Right. On top of the song.
looking back on my college years, that would play in the frats in September.
Yeah, that is absolutely a classic. And like the marketing that I'm talking about is also a classic.
Oh my
Like that
gosh,
is like it's a
absolutely.
staple. It has to happen every year. We have to see the way that she does her defrosting every single
Yes.
time. Like, and I live for it. I live for it. So
Yeah, no, so do I. And then another, like, I love how artists do like holiday songs and like EPs and stuff. Another one that, like, from our like childhood has to be, I cannot not mention Under the Mistletoe by Justin Bieber.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that is like Drummer Boy, Mistletoe,
Drummer Boy for me is really the one.
oh my God.
Yeah, like I'm gonna
Yeah, on
bop
the
to that
beat, yep,
every
on the
single
soundtrack,
time.
like, oh my God. See, like even right now we're like vibing to it and
Right, exactly. And you
like
just have to. Like every time I hear it, I'm like, yeah.
like this is gonna be so funny when I go back and edit the podcast. We're just like dancing to no music.
To no music, I'm like, yeah.
We love YouTube copyright.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Literally, I'm like,
Yeah. Oh my God. But it's just like that's the kind of stuff that makes you like versus like the nostalgia that I was talking about earlier. That's the stuff that's like fun. It makes you feel really good. And like that's also a part of like holiday music that I really love. Which as you know is why I start listening to it ASAP. Um,
yeah,
this year I held out. I think I knew that it was coming at my stores. But I am a November 1st, by November 1st, holiday music listener. And I know that you are not.
I am not. I
So,
feel like if I start listening by November 1st, like people are already doing it before Halloween. And first of all, Halloween is my favorite holiday. So I
I
do
can
love
say,
Christmas. I do love Christmas. I think it's really fun and really jolly, but it's not my favorite. And Halloween is. So when people start playing Christmas music before Halloween, I'm like, slow your roll. You're being rude. Like you're literally being rude. And so even on November 1st, I'm like, we still have to eat Thanksgiving with our families. Like I still have school. I'm stressing about finals. Like I'm not I'm not with it. But
Here's the thing. It sounds like we're getting into a very festive debate. So, Merry Christmas to you guys. We're debating. Um, so how I remember my college years going is I would actually listen to Christmas music to get me through finals.
yeah,
I
see,
would be like, okay, well, the holidays are coming. I just got to get through my finals. The music is upbeat and it's like cheerful. And that's how, like, that's a big way I would get through my winter finals.
yeah, see, I'm like the opposite. Like for me, I need some understanding with my music. So like I listen to music just in general in my life. When I listen to music, like I like it to relate to what I'm feeling right now,
Yeah,
whether that's good or bad. So like
right.
so for me, I'm not the type of person that's like, oh, I'm sad, I'm gonna go listen to a happy song. Or like, oh, like I'm really like just I don't want to feel the opposite. I don't want to listen to the opposite. So like for me, I'm stressed, I'm going through finals. I need somebody to understand what I'm going through. And people are like, oh, Merry Christmas. And I'm like, no, 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 I'm not feeling merry. I'm not feeling jolly. I'm not doing it. Leave me alone. I have a final and you're over here being happy that Christmas is
Right,
coming.
like have
I
a
don't care about Christmas when I feel like I'm about to fail everything that I do. So I'm just like,
you've turned out fine.
barely. Oh,
No, I do get that though, like wanting the music that you're listening to feel like to like emulate how you're feeling. I get
yeah.
that. I do. But like it's so like, October 31st comes and goes and then like yeah, obviously you have Thanksgiving, but that's the day for Thanksgiving and Santa even makes an appearance on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I'm like, once we get through Thanksgiving, then we could start listening to Christmas music. Maybe like the week of.
Yeah,
Maybe.
okay. Okay. I'll give you that. But like on Thanksgiving at the end of the Macy's Day Parade, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, I say Macy's Day, gosh. Okay. But like at the end of the parade at Macy's on 34th Street,
It's Santa.
it's Santa. And so
I
on
know.
Christmas, on on Thanksgiving, it
Yeah.
starts Christmas.
He's like passing the baton on to Santa. He's like, okay, now it's yours, girl. The turkey. I
Oh,
don't
it's
know.
Turkey.
Macy.
No, it's Tom Turkey. That's
On turkey.
right.
Perfect. Yep. See, I know what I'm talking about. I watched the Thanksgiving Day parade too.
Oh my,
However,
did you watch it this year?
no.
Um, it's okay. I'll admit I watched the rerun. I slept through the live airing of it.
Yeah, it used to be like a tradition. Like I would go to my grandma's and I have to watch it. Like
Yeah, no,
the
that's like
dog
I
show,
try to keep that, but I needed my sleep
and then
this
the
year.
dog show,
Yes,
dog show right after
I watch the dog show all the time.
every year.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the dog show this year, but not the parade.
I
But
watched I watched the dog show first and the pug.
I know
I was such
what an
a pug.
unexpected
I know.
amazingness of puggery. It's so great. I was living. I was so
I
happy.
thought it was so much, she was so cute with little smushed face. But then that's what I did. I watched the dog show and then the rerun of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade came on. And
To
that's
me,
what
as I've grown up, it's boring.
I get that, but like at the same time, living like that's my like nostalgia coming through. I'm like, I have to watch.
Yeah. Me too. Like I'll think of like my grandma when I watch it because like
Yeah.
that's what we used to do together when I was young. But like at the same time, I'm like, who wants to watch a float travel down New York City, blocking
I
all the
do.
traffic that's already there? Like now we have to close off how many streets for this dang parade of like giant floats that are probably like ruining the environment. Who
I'm not
knows?
going into New York City on Thanksgiving anyway.
Me, what if I need to get some work done? Like, I don't know. That's
You're
maybe
are you
now
coming
I'm being
are
a
you
little
coming
out.
home to New York for Thanksgiving next
I
year?
sure wish. I sure wish.
Okay.
But like, I no, I'm just being annoying. But I'm like, But I'm like, who wants? I'm like gonna sit at my screen for 2 hours and watch these
Yes.
floats go
You have
down
nothing
this
else to do on Thanksgiving but sit in front of the TV and eat food.
eat, eat.
I just said that. I said sit in front of the TV and eat food.
Yeah, but I want to eat. Like I don't want to watch and eat. If I'm an iPad kid, so I'm gonna watch. Like my phone, I am watching my phone while I eat something. What I don't want to watch while I eat is floats going down the streets of New York City at literally zero point 0.2 miles per hour, doing nothing. When I was a kid, it was like, oh, there's Snoopy, there's SpongeBob. Like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, so cute. Now I'm an adult. I'm like, woo, when do we get the dogs? Like, when are the
Oh,
dogs coming?
oh, yeah, no. I do like the dogs. It's very cute.
So, Thanksgiving Day parade aside, Christmas music on November 1st. I'm like, we got at least 20 days before you can start playing that in my ear.
That's crazy.
Like, you have to wait till at least the week of Thanksgiving.
I
It's too much.
see. Well, here's the thing. I used to listen to Christmas music like year round. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if it comes on, like I don't go and like seek out Christmas music, like, when it's like summer. But if it comes on in like the end of September, mid-October, I won't skip it.
It's a skip for me, like automatic skip. If I see Christmas music, first of all, it is December 23rd
Yes.
and Lana just came out. And I will put on shuffle of all my songs. And I would probably skip a Christmas song before I skip a Lana song. I don't I don't know what it is. Like unless it's the ones that I'm talking about that I love, I'm like, I'm not listening to it. Like, and even like on Christmas Day, if it's not one of the ones I like, I'm not playing it.
Oh my God.
Oh, you know what? Call me a Grinch, call me a Scrooge,
Yeah, you're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
and you know what? Humbug, I guess. I don't even know what that
For
I don't
Christmas?
I don't even know what that means, to be honest, if I'm honest. I
That just
know,
means that you're a Scrooge.
I don't know, I know it's like Scrooge, but I don't know what humbug means. Like, does anybody? If you know what humbug means, like leave a comment or something. But
Well, it means that you are not spirited and you don't have the Christmas spirit. And that's a very sad thing.
I guess, I guess I'm sad.
I mean, didn't we know that already, though?
I'm always sad. Like I will listen to sad girl music over Christmas music 365 days of the year. Love sad girl music. Love it, love it, love it.
It's good music, but like you would listen. Okay, you know what? You know what? If you want sad Christmas music, I have to look at the actual title of it. But if you want a sad Christmas song, I will give it to you. It's River by Joni Mitchell. If you want a
Okay.
sad Christmas song, Olivia Rodrigo did a cover of it when she was on High School Musical, the series, and they did a holiday special.
And
But
that title of a show should be banned. But
oh, you want it was even better. The holiday special is High School Musical, the musical, the series, the holiday special, and that's the title of like the special.
like, no.
I have to be honest, I did not watch the final season. I don't even remember if I
I,
made it through
I
season
have
three.
to be honest, I haven't watched an episode.
I mean, I liked season one, but I'm not gonna get into.
Listen, I know all I want is love and last, but I don't know. I haven't watched an
Okay.
episode.
Well, I'll send you her version of River, and that is a sad Christmas song. If you want sad Christmas, that is a sad Christmas song.
But still, even that, but that's like, okay, but I don't want to be sad about Christmas. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't, I don't want to be sad about Christmas specifically. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I still want to feel joy on Christmas. And
Okay, well then listen to Christmas music.
I love the holiday spirit. I love giving gifts. I love feeling like, like I love the idea of, thinking about what somebody would love and you give it to them and all like just the whole holiday spirit as a whole. Now, just for some reason, that in song form, it's like, I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know how to describe it,
I don't know.
but
I
but I
mean,
think it is probably because I love sad girl music and
yeah. No, I feel like you'll like River. I don't know. I think you'll think it's a really pretty song. But anyway, whether you listen to Christmas music year round, which I have not in a few years, I will. That.
but if
Um,
you do, that's fine.
yeah,
That's
exactly. If
fine.
you do, it's fine. If you are a November 1st listener like me or a one day a year like Mr. Scrooge over there.
It's all fine. But if you are the former, don't get in a car with me, is all I have to say.
I think it's a little late for that.
Yeah, well, who drives and who doesn't?
I know.
And that means who gets the aux and who doesn't.
Exactly. And I never complain, not once.
Exactly, because you know.
Yeah, I know. But also, we've also only been like with each other like one Christmas season.
Yeah, no, we don't,
Oh.
which is kind of sad, I guess, but like we don't really spend Christmas times together.
No, the closest we ever got was I think I left Georgia on like December 10th one year, and
Yeah,
that's like
or
the
like
closest we've
a
ever.
CC champs practice the day after Christmas.
Yeah, but
Like,
like one year we were on like different teams already by that point, and
yeah,
then like we only had one season where we were actually like full-fledged teammates for a full season.
yeah.
But like, yeah, okay, so
And even then, it was
I
that
know.
that
I
wasn't
mean, I don't even think we played like Christmas music during our little after
no,
practice team gift exchange, whatever. Like, I don't.
no. And we also like we were friends. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like it's not like I'm
Yeah.
not saying me and Sarah were like
No,
it,
we were
but
enemies. We hated each other.
but me and Sarah were not as close as we are today.
No, oh God, no, no. And I don't even think we were as close until like I left and like
Yeah,
went to college almost.
yeah,
Like, because obviously I would like come and like visit the gym and like see you guys, but we didn't actually start like hanging out until the summer before I went to college,
yeah.
which is crazy.
Wild.
Like, that's like, yeah, like we've known each other for 10 years and like it's all like built up to us being as close as we are. But like, we like did not hang out outside of practice for the first like 3 years.
Considering we met your what
I would
freshman,
say,
eighth grader year.
yeah, no. Yeah, that was the end of my freshman year of high school.
Yeah. So
Baby seventh grader.
yeah. Oh God. Oh,
Guys,
I
we
don't
do
even want to.
little chipmunk
I'm
cheeks.
like, it's not the holiday spirit thinking about our middle school selves. So no,
No, we're
but
gonna we're gonna keep that out of here.
we don't need to we don't need to do any of that.
Exactly. Okay. I think it's time that we bring a very special guest into Holiday Special.
Our first guest is a Nashville based indie pop artist who has spent the year touring her most recent project, Reminders of You.
Having the chance to speak about this EP back in September was one of my favorite music conversations I've had this year. So I have been waiting for the chance to have this girl on the pod. Please welcome Savannah Leigh.
Hi, how's
Hi,
everyone
Sam. How's it
doing?
going?
It's going
Thanks for
good.
being here. We're so excited to have you.
I'm excited to be back. I'm chilling. I've had one of those days where you're just going and I'm taking the interview from the car today, so we're living life,
You know what? We are so glad to have you. Thanks so much for making the time for us.
of
So,
course.
you and I spoke back in September. Since then, you've been quite busy. What's
Mhm.
been going on?
Well, September, I guess I always feel like once like October and September kind of hit, it feels like the end of the year to me already, which this year is not the case with that. I feel like Um, a lot of shows, which I've been really excited about. I think this has been the first year I've been touring as much as I have this, obviously this year. It kind of started, I guess, in November of 2023 was like the first time I opened for anyone on their tour as a solo artist. And then it just kind of, I don't know, catapulted, I guess, from November of last year to this year. So it's been really great. I got to open up for Ashley Kutcher on her like month-long Thanksgiving break tour in pretty much all of November. So it was just me and my TM, my girl Brooke, driving across the US together and just singing and shooting content and just yeah, in the midst of all of that, of course, planning for next year and making new music and just really yeah, diving into the career, I guess, full time. And now obviously the holidays are here, so hoping to get a little break soon and then gonna be back to it again in January.
That's awesome. So one thing that you've mentioned both, I guess, just now and when we spoke is that this was kind of your first foray as a solo artist. Can you share a little bit for anybody who might not know your history, like a little bit about how you got to where you are now?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean I grew up doing music and I come from a very like musical family. Lots of my family members, including like even up until like my great grandpa and stuff, just like loved music and were involved in the creative world somehow, whether it was like acting or songwriting or my dad was a performer when I was a kid. So it was just a lot of that around. And then my sister and I are pretty close in age, we're about 20 months apart. So we kind of sang together and did the harmonies sister thing our whole lives. And more so, I guess, professionally from like 16 till I was like 19, I think. And yeah, we put music out together. We did a small tour together, but I think 2020 was really when it kind of was like my own music and my solo career kind of popped off and started then. And my sister and I just yeah, kind of split paths and the career, I guess, since. And yeah, I think we both just recognized like we had different goals for our lives with music and like what we wanted to make. And I think too, I didn't feel super connected to the country pop scene that I had kind of started in. I think I felt drawn to that because I grew up listening to country and I moved to Nashville and it just felt like what made sense. But I think, yeah, it took me a few years to find my voice and my writings, like what I wanted to say and sound like. So that's kind of the history. But yeah, it's been just a solo journey ever since like 2020, I'd say.
And now that we know a little bit more about like your history and your past, what has been your favorite part about this year?
I think for sure the shows. I've wanted to be on stage as much as possible since forever, and I think a lot of artists don't really talk about this as much as I wish they did of just like how long it really takes until you are getting these tours and like touring opportunities and especially when you're indie and you're doing everything with an indie team. I don't have any like crazy viral moment that, catapulted me into signing a deal or anything like that or signing a big agent, for booking. I just think it's been like a very boots to the ground kind of DIY thing for a long time. And yeah, even if you put in context, I moved to Nashville 6 years ago, and this is my first real year touring and getting to do this. And even though, it's not to the full scale of like, but yeah, I mean, I guess the Ashley tour is the longest one, and things like that are the goal and the dream is to be able to go out for longer than 1 to 2 shows, which is kind of how I started off in November of 2023. And it just from there would build up to maybe 3 shows with a band, and maybe you're out for a week, and then now it's kind of progressed into this. And so I'm really excited about that. And I think just seeing that kind of growth in my personal, like real life, I think sometimes like content and like music and streaming is obviously amazing when it's growing, but it's hard to be able to really feel the growth because you're not seeing these people's faces and like talking to them and getting to sing on stage in front of them. And so, yeah, I don't know. I think the shows have been the best part and they've really inspired me and made me want to, just do as much as I can next year for sure.
Yeah. And what is something that maybe you learned either as an artist or maybe that music taught you as a person through this year and doing those shows?
I would think that like whenever you are not touring, obviously, and you want to be, I think there's a lot of not fears, but maybe I guess for me going into touring as much as I have been recently is going from doing not a lot of shows to doing a lot of shows randomly, like just kind of in the spur of the moment. I think touring is so last minute sometimes. Like a lot of the offers that I was receiving was within only a few months of notice or less than that. And so you kind of have to get like yourself prepared quickly. And I don't know, I'm really excited and proud of just like the way me and my team and like my content girl and the girl that tour manages with me, her name's Brooke, like just the way that we've like, supported each other and been there for each other out there. And the way my personality, I guess, has handled it. You just never know how it's going to go and how you're going to feel. I was always kind of worried about being like super depleted or something after and feeling like, oh, this isn't meant, I'm not meant for this or something, which I didn't think that was actually going to happen, but just the fear of that was a little bit there, and the stage anxiety piece. And I feel like I've just worked through a lot of that stuff. And I feel really, like I am meant to do that. I am meant to be out there as much as I was and even more. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I think that's like the thing I'm the most proud of through this year of like learning about me and like the people I work with. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that music, maybe more than just music itself, but the music industry really shows us how fast life can change and how fast things throw a curveball at us. And
Yeah.
it's just insane to watch it firsthand as an artist, I'm sure.
Yeah. 100%.
Definitely. So, Sav, I know that you did your EP release show when we spoke, like very, very in close like timing to that. Did you find that more shows were coming in kind of right after that show? Is that kind of what you meant by things coming at you quickly?
Yeah, I mean, right after my EP show is when I got to open for Jonah. I knew that was coming a little bit prior to the EP show. I just also before that come off my few weeks I spent in LA, and I'd done a pop-up show there for like an event I hosted and then a couple other shows. So it just felt like everything was kind of like getting into that, zone of like, okay, that's the one thing I've noticed it's different about, shows versus like, I don't know, maybe streaming. It's like you could put out a lot of music and never really see too much results in the music world. But I feel like in the uh, touring world and the shows, it's like the more you do, the more opportunities you get. I really have felt like that this year. I've noticed just the pickup, the more that I was accepting and like hopefully doing well and making good connections with the people I was out with. Like word just spreads really fast, I feel like in the touring world. And so, yeah, I mean, I knew the Jonah show was coming, and we were hoping for some other stuff that we didn't have no confirmation on yet. And we originally had another tour booked in October, which would have been right before Ashley. I was going to be opening for Mackenzie McKay, who's a UK based artist. So I knew that was coming. And then things happened with his visa that ended up canceling the tour. And that was kind of crazy. But also at that point, I had just gotten super sick. And I was like, maybe this is like a blessing in disguise kind of thing. Like maybe we'll come back in the new year and like get to do it together again and see what happens. And so it just kind of was, sad of course, but I feel like it was the right thing for the time. So yeah, I knew some things, but I didn't know the Ashley tour was coming until I did some press stuff in New York and some interviews and some things up there. And that's when I found out that it was coming. It was like I was on a train to Connecticut and she DM'd me and I was like, oh wait, look, this is happening. Like it was very like crazy, but yeah.
And that was New York and Connecticut. You were doing like the Dunkin' lounges and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah, I didn't realize that you had been on the Jonah tour.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
went to a bunch of the shows on the tour. So what show were you opening for?
I opened the Chicago show.
Oh my gosh, no way.
Yeah, yeah, it was super great. And yeah, very unexpected, and just like I had wanted to do the show. We didn't have confirmation, and then like yeah, I think I was in Florida visiting my friend, and we got like a FaceTime call, and of course my manager and his manager planned it and made it seem like my manager was calling me off a different number for some reason, and of course I had no idea. So I was like, yeah, sure. And then it was Jonah like asking all his openers to do it, and it was really sweet. So yeah, I mean, that was an awesome show. I was really bummed. I was supposed to do the Nashville show that he did, and I couldn't because of me taking the Ashley run. But
Girl, if you did, we would have met.
I know, I know, I know. We talk a lot. I'm hoping like maybe something could happen next year. He's opening for Nightly, which is
Bailey, I
one.
know. I need to talk about this tour because I'm so
Yes.
excited.
Yeah, Nightly was one of the first bands that ever opened up their arms to me when I moved here, and like most of my early music is done with them. So to see them doing their shows together, I'm very excited, and I was hoping I'm like, yeah, hopefully when you're done the opening run, and hopefully when I'm done any of the opening like stuff I'm doing next year, like we can revisit. But yeah, hopeful for that.
Oh, that's awesome. So I guess that kind of leads into, other than those potentials, is there anything else that you're looking forward to in 2025? Maybe some new music to go along with these shows that you're hoping to do?
Yeah, I definitely have an announcement. I just haven't been able to make it. So just wait for the announcement about shows. It is coming. I've just been sitting on it for like 2 months. So I'm like waiting patiently. My management would hit me if I told, but it's okay. That's just
You
not
won't
actually
tell
that,
anyone.
not actually physically, but verbally they'd be like, Savannah, are you serious? But yeah, I'm really excited about shows and music will be coming, of course, new music. I think some of the stuff that came about with shows has like kind of changed the timeline of the project that I'm hoping to put out, and not in a bad way, just like, oh, I think I need to get stuff out way earlier than I expected, which is awesome. And I've been in the studio since I've gotten back. I'm going to be there again, in January. So I'm hoping to get things kind of polished up and at least have some songs out before I go on any new tours. And yeah, I think this new stuff is a little bit lighter and it feels good to like be singing about stuff that just shows a different side of my personality. I think like a lot of my stuff is very introspective and deep and like not I mean sad for sure, but just more like I don't know, reflective. And I think this new stuff feels like the like lighter side of my personality, the funnier side, the dry humor side. And I think I've never put out stuff like that. So I'm happy and excited about it for sure.
Yeah, I always love a good sad girl moment for sure. But
Wait, I
going
did have
more
one more
towards
question before we go into like holiday stuff. Just because I remembered that you spoke about kind of your love of psychology
Hmm.
when we spoke in September. So with this new kind of feeling that you're putting into the music, how has your mental process, has it changed at all when you're writing these songs?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, psychology is like still obviously a huge passion. I don't know if that'll ever change at this point. I think I've always been interested in it, but like almost now it's like I would possibly do something with that outside of music if I didn't do music kind of thing. Like I love it so much and I think it'll always impact me just from like a self-awareness standpoint. But I don't know. I think this year I am turning 25 in, April 2025, which is
Oh my
hilarious.
God,
And
that's exciting.
yeah, and I think like yeah, my brain's just been in a different space. I think that I could have gone into this like really I don't know, sad, dark place for next year. I've had a lot of stuff happen in my personal life this year with just relationships and things that could have like really inspired me into that of like, oh, the loss of people as you get older and change and just like relationships changing from like your youth and different things. But I don't know, something just kind of shifted. I think I've been able to find ways to process a lot of that stuff outside of the music and kind of instead it was like instead of just like sitting here and feeling and being sad about all this stuff, like I'm kind of ready for something different. I'm ready to like feel happy despite the things that are going on. And I think a lot of that has been due to therapy and things that we've tried to chatted about in previous like conversations, but also things I promote a lot about on socials. Like I'm all about mental health and like, wanting to chase that and never get super stuck in one spot. And like, I don't know, I totally hold space for the negative things and the hard things. But I think it's important to keep trying to like also lean toward being healthy and like coming out of those pockets of sadness that can kind of happen. And so this feels like that. And I'm excited to have those, different feelings come out in the music for sure.
Yay. Oh girl, I'm so psyched. I cannot believe it. I
I
know.
am too. I am
Can
too.
you say where you were right before this call? Can you like say anything about that?
Yeah, I was at the producer's house that's gonna be working with me on this next stuff. His name's Matt Martin, and he's super awesome. And yeah, my best friend from home's in town, so I took her with me to the studio today to work on new stuff and record a non-release song that I like sang the entire Ashley tour. It was the one song I chose to like just kind of do every night live and see. So I wanted to wait till I was back to record it just because I knew I'd have a different feel for it once I got to hear people's like reactions to it. So yeah, that's what I was doing today.
Yay! Oh my God, that's so exciting. And like, I don't, Jared and I have been best friends. Everybody who watches the podcast, like, we've been best friends for 10 years. So I love that your
Love
best
it.
friend is with you today.
Yeah, of course.
switching to the more, or speaking of switching to more of like the light and fun side of everything, what is like your favorite part of the holiday season, either as a person or like an artist or in
Mhm.
music, just all of that?
It's a good question. I think I always have I actually feel like I have a mixed feeling toward holidays, not in a bad way, but I think nostalgia is like a huge thing that kind of comes up for me in Christmas and especially Christmas, I think, because that was my favorite holiday when I was young. And like, I come from like a faith, Christian based background. So I've always kind of like really loved Christmas just in the spirit of it all and the way that like, I feel during this time of year. I think it's just like a really special time. And I love like my community here in Nashville and like just being a part of those different groups that I'm in and just like feeling more grounded, even if like things are kind of chaotic in other places of my life. I feel like, I don't know, Christmas, despite that, can just still make me feel like happy about the year ending. New Year's is the year, like, sorry, the holiday that I hate the most, I think, which is crazy. But I think the start of New Year actually gives me more anxiety than anything. I'm like, oh no, like that year's gone. Like it's just crazy. It's so crazy. Every time I look at like the calendar and I'm like, wait, it's another, it just freaks me out every time. It almost feels like time flies so fast. So I think I love everything up until then. And I'm like, oh no. Like, but this year might be different. I think there's a lot to be excited about next year that I didn't really have going the
Mhm.
past couple years in music. So I think I'm just really excited. But I would say yeah, Christmas in general. I think like the colors. I love red. Red's my favorite color. I just love the
That I wanted
tree.
to say.
Like yes, love it. Like I'm from Florida, so there's not really much of like a seasonal thing that I love because it's just kind
Mhm.
of the same down there every year with the weather. It doesn't really, vary too much from like any other season, but I just think it's beautiful and I love like the lights and yeah, I think just the spirit of it all is really special, regardless of if the nostalgia kind of hits hard.
Yeah. Are there any like traditions that you kind of reminisce on that play into that nostalgia factor?
I think so. I think like yeah, I think I've moved a bunch and since I was young and so I think I miss, just like having your childhood homes or have been always something that's hard for me when it comes to like being an adult now and like coming back home and visiting different family members for different things. I think this year we're going to Philadelphia for Christmas, which we haven't done in so long. So that was something I missed doing. My big side of my mom's family lives over there. So nice to get over there, visit them, and that'll be something that I'm excited to do. That's something I used to do a lot when I was younger. And yeah, I don't know. I'd say too, just like the whole Christmas Eve thing is very nostalgic. I used to like open a present every year on Christmas Eve. I still try to make my mom let me do that. She's fine with it, but it's not the same as when you're a kid and it's like so exciting. Like now I'm like 24 and I'm like, okay, I know what you got me, but I'm still gonna act like I don't and open this gift and like whatever. But yeah, I think there's a lot of things. And yeah, just being around your family, I think if you don't live close to home anymore, it can make you feel super like in your feelings just because yeah, 24. I moved away a long time ago and I get to go home a lot more than some people I know that wish they could go home. So it's not ever a complaint. But yeah, I don't see my parents, every week or anything. So it's nice to, be around them and have my sister there and just be with family. Yeah.
Oh, that's so lovely. And I know that you have a little performance that you're going to do for us. Before we get to that and having you introduce that, is there anything else that you want to share, either just like about this year going into the new year? Anything that you want to say that we didn't cover?
I don't know. I think we covered most things. I mean, I feel just super grateful and thankful to everyone that's listening in and supporting. And I don't know. I think sometimes people like skip over how impactful it is to have people care. Like I think when you're playing the shows, it really reminds you that these are like legitimate humans on the other side of the screen. So I'm really grateful, and I've definitely felt a difference this year, and just like I was saying earlier, just like the inspiration to keep doing this and keep going. Just because, yeah, you just feel differently when you're seeing these people in real time and like having that connection. So yeah, that's probably the one thing. But yeah, I'm just feeling excited for 2025 for sure.
Oh well, we adore you and we cannot wait to see what happens for you next year. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and introduce your performance, I can't wait to hear what you'll be singing.
Cool. Well, Savannah Lee, everyone. A lot of people have been saying Savannah Leigh lately, which I think is hilarious. Savannah Leigh, I guess, for Christmas season, maybe, but Savannah Lee, for normal days. And I guess I'll sing. I think my brain it does this on stage, so this is what it's doing right now. I'm like making my decision as we're on the call. Think Indigo is what I'll perform, and probably because it's my favorite right now project, and I love singing it so much. So Indigo.
That's amazing. All right. Well, we can't wait to hear it. Thanks so much for being here. Happy.
Yes. Thanks, guys. It's so good to see you.
Hey, my name is Savanna Leigh, and this is Indigo.
Wow, what an incredible performance from Savannah.
Thanks so much for joining us, Sev. Happy holidays. We loved talking with you about everything you had going on this year, and we cannot wait to hear all the new music that you're going to put out in 2025. Obviously, when I got to talk with Sev back in September, I listened through the EP and I really loved it. So I'm glad that you guys got to hear Indigo. But Jared, what have some of your favorite projects and albums and songs been from this year?
Oh, that's so hard. I mean, obviously I'm gonna say Hit Me Hard and Soft
Yeah.
Billie Eilish is definitely in there. I really loved Short and Sweet, Eternal Sunshine. Um, Lauren Spencer Smith just put out a single called Small, and
That's such a good one. Oh
it's
God.
incredible. So yeah, those are a few of my favorites. I think there's just so many to
I
think
know.
of.
Like I'll echo short and sweet. I've also really loved Patterns by Kelsey Ballerini this year. Obviously, I've talked about her and that album. Like we've talked about how much I love Kelsey, but that's one of my standout albums for this year. There was so much great music that came out this year, and I'm excited to continue listening to that and to all of the artists that I learned about this year.
Yeah,
And I'm excited to see what new projects come out and what new artists we discover next year.
me too. I think my where is it? I'm gonna look for it right now. My Apple Music really tells my music story really well. Um I had Tate McRae, Lana Del Rey, Renee Rapp. I mean, what's it called? Think Later did
Yeah.
that.
Oh my
It
God.
came out
Think
at the
Later. I
end
can't
of
even believe
last
I
year.
didn't say that because I love Think
Well, I
Later.
think it came out, if I'm not wrong, I think it came out at the end of last
End of
year.
last year. Okay. So I'm
So
not,
like not 2024, but it was like it was heavy on my
yes.
2024
Oh,
rotation.
absolutely.
And like there's so much stuff. Also, James Charles getting into music was
That
not
was
on my
something I did
2024
not
bingo,
expect this year.
was not on my 2024 bingo card, and I
Mm.
love it. Love it, love it, love it. I know that's very controversial, whatever. People don't like him. I love James Charles, and I think that his music was really, 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 really incredible. Um, and wasn't expecting him to go to sad girl music either, but here we are. And now I'm in love. And I think literally, yep, Used to Love Me was my November's top song.
Wow.
The whole month's top song was Used to Love Me by James Charles. So the fact that he went from like just like bring me little water now, like like his little like memes of music that like everybody made fun of him for, to like building an actual music career and ending up in my replay of Apple Music is really crazy to me. And I really love that he went on that journey. So I really love that too. That was probably one of my favorite moments of the year, music wise.
That's awesome, Jer. I mean, I was not expecting Taylor Swift to be my number two artist this year. That was a curveball for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that from you either, to be honest. But
Really?
I also wouldn't expect her to be in my top artists either.
Oh my God.
And she's number 10.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting her. She was above SZA. And if you know me, that's wild. She was above Lady Gaga, Melanie Martinez, and Nicki Minaj.
No, literally, she was above Kelsey for me, which is crazy.
That's
I do
yeah.
I do know that Kelsey is a big Swiftie, so like I feel like those two were
Yeah.
probably really close.
Speaking of also big Swifties that we're a fan of, Gracie Abrams, who opened for her Eras tour,
Yeah.
um, made a huge spike in popularity, which
I know.
didn't even know who she was at the beginning of the year.
Really?
Yes, I
I
did
I feel like
personally.
I did. Because she has one song that I've been listening to for years. I Miss You, I'm sorry.
Oh, yes. See, I did know that song, but I didn't know her as an artist,
Yeah.
which I think is
I find
also
it really cool. Sorry, I like just completely cut you off.
you're good. I didn't know her as a person, which I think is a huge thing in like an artist's career, is when you can
Absolutely.
separate yourself from that big hit that made you famous or anything like that. And it's like you can really build a fan base then because you have a name for yourself. And I think that she's
Oh
starting
yeah.
to do that really, really rapidly. And I really love it. So she has like her songs all over TikTok right now. There was that trend with that one song that I
Yeah.
can't even think of right now, but
That I lost it, said that I was fine, said it was
yeah, why can't I think of that song right
um
now?
that's fine, that's fine. Is that I love you? I'm sorry. No, I don't think so.
No, that's You Were the Best, but You Were the Worst. Second start
Right.
first.
I love you.
Um,
Yeah, that's not that one. Oh my
Hello,
God.
good morning. That's so true.
That's the
That's
name.
so
Oh my
true
God.
is the name of the song. And I literally am so sorry for not knowing that.
I
But
know. Sorry, Gracie girl. You can go and talk about all the songs that we just went through. What else did you not expect this year? Like, what was not on your 2024 bingo card for music?
honestly, what wasn't on my bingo card was SZA releasing an album because, well, a deluxe of her old album, which
Right, but
personally to
still.
me, this feels like a whole new album. But if you know SZA, girl, whew, this girl and releasing music has been a roller coaster, and her fans get on her all the time, and we're like, girl, release the songs. You had this much time, da, 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 all this stuff. But you know, I do love that she cares so much about like the craft and the art of
Oh
music.
yeah.
She like
Oh,
wants to make it
I did
perfect.
see that. I did see a tweet about that. She was like, it's coming out first thing in the morning, the mixes.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that kind of what you're referring to?
Yeah. So like I didn't even think that she was gonna release anything this year, to be honest. And then she did, and she released the album and we got it. So
There you go.
I'm grateful, but yeah, it was very unexpected how fast it I mean, it's been a thing since she released SOS. She was like, "Oh, deluxe coming soon."
Yeah.
Um, and
I
then
love that's an artist's favorite word.
yeah, coming soon. And I was
Honestly,
like, if you
I think
know
every
SZA,
artist's resolution for 2025, when they use the word soon, it should actually mean soon.
yeah, yes, I agree. And so I knew as a SZA fan, I was like, sure, I'll believe it when it has a release date. And so even when she was getting closer to this actual release date, she was like, coming soon, see you soon, see you soon. And then a week before the release date is when she was like, okay, this is when we're
Soon
dropping.
is now.
And I was like, a week. I was like, so it
Oh,
is now. I was like, oh my
soon
God.
is now.
And then on release night, it was like, ooh, coming to you tomorrow morning. And we
Mm,
were like, are we getting it or not? Like, I was like,
right.
now I don't even know. I was like, are we even getting it or what? And then we did get it. So that whole roller coaster was just really unexpected.
Oh
So
my gosh. Obviously, any new music, whether it's holiday music or not, it's a great way to end the year.
oh, and like I mentioned earlier, Kim Kardashian coming back into the music game with Santa Baby was not on my bingo card at all. And it was just like
Definitely not.
it was like a here you go. It was like, yeah, no big deal. Yes, big deal, girl. What do you mean? You're putting out a song. What?
Oh
You're
my
Kim Kardashian. What? I was like, what?
God.
And then
Oh.
I didn't even know she had a music career back in the day, I guess.
Honestly, I don't think I did either.
Until one of those pop crave
Oh my gosh, yeah.
music HQ, whatever. And it was like Kim Kardashian makes her return to music. And I
Right.
was like,
Like, bro,
her
Charter.
return? I was like, her return? What does that even mean? And then I look at it, I'm like, oh my God. She was part of that iTunes era. But
Mhm.
yeah, sorry. I just like bursted out into
No,
that.
that's
But
so.
that is also one of my unexpectedness.
Oh my God, yeah. I'm trying to think. I don't really know if I have any. I mean, I feel like obviously I've discovered a lot of new artists this year through working with them, but I feel like I kind of just was really into the artists that I've been into this year. I feel like that was like a big thing for me this year.
Yeah.
Um, oh, you know what? No. I'll go back to the beginning of this year. Cody Simpson dropping a new version of On My Mind. That was not on my 2024 bingo card because at that point he was still like in the thick of Olympic, like not even
Yeah.
trials. He was practicing and training to be an Olympian.
Yeah.
So I was like, wait, Cody music now?
Right. I'm like, hello.
And that ended up being my top song of the year.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's really crazy.
I I guess I needed that.
Yeah, you did. I already know Wildflower was my top song of the year. So I'm like, there was no surprise. When I saw my Apple Music Wrapped, I was not surprised
I know.
at all. Besides that one
Spotify
kids
Wrapped
song.
versus Apple Music. That's something we're gonna have to get into another time.
Yeah,
Maybe next year. Does next year sound good to
yeah.
you?
Next year sounds good to me. It has been a crazy yet exciting ride with all of you. Um, Doing this podcast has been one of the best highlights of my year. And I am so excited to see what 2025 brings for us. And I really, really hope that you guys stick along with us. So, um, I hope to see you guys next year. And if you want to find us on any of the socials, we have Instagram, we have Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, and we have TikTok, all at Setlist Media. And you can find us on Instagram at TGL Pod.
You got it. Thank you guys so much for joining our holiday special and joining us all year. Jer, I think that I can only echo when you said that this was a highlight of your year. I'm so glad that this is where we are ending TGL in 2024. A little different than how we started it, but what is meant to be will be. And this was meant to be. I've had the best time filming with you this year. And like we mentioned in the Q&A on Sunday, I think it's only brought us closer together. And so I am just so grateful that we've been able to bring all of the TGL squad into our incredibly special bond and our guests. Thank you so much to everybody who's joined us this year, whether it was at the end of season 1 or if you've been with us in season 2. Thanks again to Savanna for joining us today. If you have not subscribed yet, right here on YouTube or followed the podcast on Spotify, you can do so. All of those links, as well as our socials that Jared mentioned, will be in the description box below. You know, Jared, I think there's only one thing left that we can say before signing off for the year. That is
Happy
Happy Holidays!
holidays!
Bye, guys! See you next year!